Oh, we're so sorry to hear about your brother that passed away. He gets 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Boom!
How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Taylor Talks. I hope you've all had an amazing 2025 thus far, but get ready because it's about to be much better, because Xbox just had their Developers Direct, in which we saw 5 games showcased that will be released in 2025. In this video, I'm going to be going over those 4/5 games, and I'll be giving you my thoughts and opinions on each of them. But of course, I'd love to hear yours, so if you have any, leave them in the comments. The showcase kicked off with Ninja Gaiden 4, developed by Team Ninja and Platinum Games. Now, I know this is going to ring a lot of excitement bells for a lot of people, a lot of fans. Personally, I've never played a Ninja Gaiden game. It was before my time. It's actually quite a bit before my time. And Ninja Gaiden 3 probably would have slotted in perfectly for me, but it wasn't exactly the most praised game. So it's not a franchise I've ever toyed with, but boy oh boy does it look like I should dive into it. Because with Ninja Gaiden 4, it's a new entry into the series taking place in a dystopian Tokyo. You will have a new character to play in the franchise with Yakumo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I hope I'm going to pronounce all of these names right. And he will provide new fighting styles, including something called a Bloodbind Ninjutsu. Or Ninjutsu, yeah, that sounds very interesting. Sounds like a lot of fun. Alongside Yakumo, Ryu Hayabusa, I hope I said that right, will return as a playable character. And I know he's been around in the franchise for a really long time. So at least that's some familiarity for me if I dive into it to check out the previous games. Now, the general plot of it is you have to kill the Dark Dragon, or I'm not sure about kill, but the Dark Dragon lives, and while it lives, rain keeps falling down in Tokyo, and so long as there's rain, there will be no peace. So it looks like you're going to have to kill the Dark Dragon. It's very dynamic and fast-paced, as you would expect from a game like this, and it will be released in the fall of 2025. But if you really can't wait, these sneaky ninjas just killed it with the announcement of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which turns out was a really popular game, Ninja Gaiden 2, and it was apparently really good. So Definitive Edition, remade on Unreal 5, that is out right now on Game Pass, or you could buy it outright for a bit more dough. It's something I haven't considered before, but maybe now's the time. Let me know about you, but everything I've seen says it's really good, so I can't wait to see what a modern old game is going to feel like. Moving on to the second game of the showcase, we got more information on South of Midnight. Now, this is an Xbox published game, or Xbox owned studio, Compulsion Games, so it is first party, it will be on Game Pass. But beyond that, the premise of the game is that it sets place in the deep American South, with your main character Hazel, who seems to get a lot of supernatural powers throughout the game. And Hazel seems to have a really interesting dynamic with her mother. We saw this at the beginning of the showcase. I really enjoyed that, by the way. And then her mother gets swept away. So the premise of the plot is trying to find her mother. Very simple. Her arsenal of powers are designed around textile crafting and spinning wheels. Weapons include a spindle, 2 weaving hooks, and a distaff. As someone who doesn't weave or crochet or do anything like that, I have no idea what all of those are, but it looks really interesting. That's all I can really say about the game. The art style is beautiful. The animation, very cool. This like stop motion vibe that it has going to it. And in general, the game just seems to have a lot of soul with some fantastic voice acting that I've seen so far from both creatures and human characters that are presented.
It ain't every day I hear about a new weaver such as yourself. Would you kindly do your weavy thing and help me down?
It's something that I really enjoy looking at, and I love the concept of, because it just seems like such a comfortable game to play. My one concern for the game, though, is that combat kind of looks meh, if you know what I mean. It doesn't look like anything special. It's a bit of attack, bit of dodge. You know, you can pull them closer, you can push them away. There's nothing really special about the combat. And to be fair, it looks a bit slow getting into it as well, but I'll have to wait and see. Obviously, I can't make my judgments until I played it. But that's probably my main concern for the game. Everything else to me looks really good. In fact, I was talking with my cousin while watching the live stream, and we both agreed that the game looks like a Game Pass game. It's like, if you were to ask me, define what a Game Pass game looks like, I'd say South of Midnight. It's one of those games that looks very interesting, very intriguing, kind of makes you want to play it, but you also don't want to pay full price for it. You would kind of just play it if you had access to it. So we'll have to see more of South of Midnight to see if it is going to be one of these really great games that I've just got to get my hands on and play, or is it one of those I should just add to the backlog. It will be coming out April 8th, so hopefully I don't have to wait long to get my answer. The next game we got to see was Clair Obscur Expedition 33, developed by Sandfor Interactive and published by Kepler Interactive. Now this is probably the game that drew my attention the most from the whole showcase, if it wasn't for the fact that I'd kind of already seen a lot of it before. The basic premise of the game is that there's a paintress that paints a number every single year, and everybody above that age just disappears into nothingness. It's a very dark and mature game. It likes to tackle concepts of struggle with loss and grief, and overall it seems to be a very narrative-driven experience, not something that's more open to just exploration and all of that. It seems to have a purpose for every single character. Now there's a wide selection of characters to use, characters to learn of their stories, their motivations, their worries, their fears. It just seems like a really good game. Of course, it hasn't come out, so I can't say that definitively, but I mean, look at it. Now, the gameplay features an explorable map, which to me looks awesome. The first area that they showcased looks really cool, looks really fun, and I would love to explore that. The art direction is beautiful. Obviously, the game looks fantastic. But the one thing that's holding me back is the turn-based combat system. Now, granted, it looks amazing. It looks like it could be a lot of fun. It's just, I've never been a turn-based kind of guy. It's never something that's drawn me in. It's never something that's held my attention. It's never something that I've really enjoyed playing. But considering how interactive it is, I would be moronic to not at least give it a shot. Because if I can enjoy the combat system, I am certain that this is a game that I and many others will love. And luckily, it's not going to take long to find out either. Just like South of Midnight, this game's also coming out in April. But if all these previous 3 games have been too what's the word? Calm, uninteresting, Xbox really decided to turn up for the last one with Doom: The Dark Ages. Developed by id Software, the game is a prequel to 2016's Doom, but introduces some cool new toys to play with. My favorite showcase was the shield that uses contextual inputs, allowing one button to act for multiple actions. It seems really interesting. Almost kind of makes me feel like Captain America in a way. And I'm sure that's kind of what the vibe they were going for, just in a more Doom-like manner. In terms of the other weapons, the nail gun also got me quite excited when they shot it and it pinned the enemy to the wall, so that one looks like it could be a lot of fun. You also get to fly a cybernetic dragon that apparently breathes fire and can do some other cool things, and you can also pilot a giant towering Atlan mech. So lots of cool stuff to play with, and it seems as though it's kind of baked into the story as well, with these dragons and mechs not just being a one-off cool feature, but something that you can actively use in your gameplay. My favorite part of the mech was seeing him run through the bridges and it all collapse, so this destructible environment, that for me just makes me feel giant and powerful and tall. And for a game that's all about feeling powerful, what more can you ask for there? Beyond that, there is a clear focus on bringing in new players to the franchise. It's a lot slower, you're more of a brute in this game compared to the previous entry. In terms of my thoughts, the positives, well, it looks stunning, that's for sure. The score is going to be awesome. I can say that now. It's Doom. It's always awesome. Not to sound like a broken record, but the medieval theme, the only word I can describe it as, awesome. The new mechanics look good. It's more accessible, which is good because it's going to bring in new players to the franchise, I'm sure, especially with Game Pass and having everybody have access to it. But I do have some concerns. Firstly, the game looks slow. I prefer it to be like a weed whacker in Doom. I just want to, hit all these enemies, blood splatter, parts go, all of this, but this one you seem to stop and fight at many interactions, so we'll see what that's like. They did show off some settings where you can turn up the speed and everything, so that might make it better for those who prefer the more fast-paced style. And if you prefer a slower style, or you're getting into it, you're a bit worried, you're a new gamer, whatever, that's fine too. So I think they're trying to cater to a wider audience, and I'll never say that's a bad thing. So yeah, that's it. Those are all of my thoughts and opinions on the 4/5 games announced at the Xbox Developers Direct. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Which game are you most excited for? Or are you, for some reason, not excited for any of them? Do you think that Xbox showcased the right games this year? Personally, I wish they had done some more information on Fable, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Otherwise, it still adds to a really packed catalog of games coming out in 2025, big games. So it's going to be a very good year, guys. Trust me on that one. One last thing, if you did happen to enjoy the video, please consider hitting that subscribe button to join the community. It's been a pleasure talking with you today, and I hope to see you in the next one.